Hey guys, this is John here with United Motivation. We all have our stories, our struggles, the things that we have to battle with. And I'm going to tell you one thing, I'm absolutely sick and tired of hearing about famous people and their problems. So I bring to you some of an average people that we see every single day in and out, but we really don't know their stories. I have here Sherry Lee. She has some inspirational messages for you guys. So Sherry, what what is your story? What's going on?
I have a disorder called schizoaffective disorder, which is every mental illness wrapped up into one little horrible package. I struggle every day, not only to be able to maintain my illness, but to also be able to do normal things like other people. I take medication, but medication only helps, be able to do the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
But I have to actually keep myself doing, pushing, and doing the things that I need to do as well.
Okay, so let's track a little bit back into your life. When did you actually start noticing these problems?
Right around 14 years old, I started noticing a lot of anxiety, panic attacks. Then it went into chasing shadows and seeing things that weren't there, feeling like I wasn't alone all the time, or people would be staring at me. I started getting put on medication when I was about 20 years old. And by the time I was 22, I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. And now I'm schizoaffective disorder with major depression, severe homicidal and suicidal tendencies, with addictive personality disorder.
Okay, so when when you were growing up, what did your family do about all this? Was it a struggle for them or
They, my father was in the Coast Guard, so he wasn't really around a lot.
okay.
And my stepfather was abusive, both mentally and physically. Um, my mother, she was depressed all the time and kind of just gave up on life. So they didn't really notice me because I didn't tell them.
Yeah.
And I I always push myself to try to act like normal people. I don't let them know when certain things are happening, like my depression, um, like chasing shadows and seeing ghosts, because I see ghosts every day. I see them every single day. I chase shadows at night, almost every single night, depending on how tired I am. I can go for 2, 3 nights in a row where I don't go to sleep at all. Um, I'm mostly nocturnal because I stay awake at night simply because I'm either upset, overthinking, or because I'm afraid to go to sleep. And sometimes I even have to sleep with the light on. And I ended up getting two beautiful emotional support animals that also help me out.
I think you mentioned something about you have a couple of cats or a couple
I
of
have
dogs.
a cat. I have a cat, a black and white cat named Panda Bear. He has trained himself because I've had him since he was about 2, 3 weeks old.
Uh-huh.
He has trained himself to wake me up when I have a nightmare. He will climb behind my pillow and he will lick my forehead until I wake up. And they got sandpaper tongues. So he
I,
won't stop until he wakes me up and I tell him, "It's okay, Panda. I'm awake now. It's okay." And
yeah.
then he leaves me alone. I have a dog here, part Lhasa Apso, part Wheaten Terrier, and she knows when I'm depressed or just not right. And she will jump in my lap and I start petting her until I'm okay.
That's always the strangest thing about animals. I've known some people that have animals like you do.
Mm,
They know more than
exactly.
what you think. And
exactly.
it always surprises me.
And exactly. And these animals have trained themselves. I didn't have to train them specifically for my illness. They know.
Hmm.
And that's the good thing about animals. They sense that.
And that's interesting too, because you normally have to train them.
And with Nala, I mean, she needs just as much attention as I do because she's a rescue from Harvey. She was in a flooded house. So
Okay.
she needs me just as much as I need her. Mhm.
So it's a match made in
Yes,
heaven.
definitely. Definitely.
So,
But go ahead.
so fast forward back into your 20s and then till now,
Mhm.
how has it all been? And it's you told me some crazy stories, and I wanted to save them for today. So from
Okay.
your 20s to now, how's life?
I progressively got worse, mostly from drugs. My husband started me and himself on cocaine, snorting cocaine.
Uh,
We've done cocaine, we've mainlined cocaine, we have done crystal meth, we have done crack. We spent many years of doing it. He would always go and get the drugs, come back and say, Sherry, come here. And of course, being his wife and, feeling like I have to do what my husband wants, I did it
yeah,
with him. And he was forceful. Not really forceful, but he would be like, do it with me, do it with me. And he would get abusive to me. He would get abusive to my girls. And I felt like that's what my marriage was going to be like. And then one day I just couldn't take it anymore. I mean, he was really hurting my daughter, and my daughter was hurting him. And I told them, if you do it one more time, if you beat each other up one more time, I'm going to call the police. And I
uh,
did, and they both got arrested. And I felt bad because it was my youngest daughter's birthday when she got arrested. And then years after that, I put my foot down again and I told him, if you go back to town and bring any more crack cocaine home, I am leaving. And we were building a home in Trinity. We were planning on building a home for our family.
uh-huh.
And I landed up leaving him. And I left my daughters too, because one of them didn't want to come with me and the other one already moved out. She couldn't take anymore. And so I left. I came back down to Hitchcock, Texas to be with my dad. And I told my husband when I talked to him that if he wanted this family and he wanted this marriage, he needed to go get help. And he tried to pin it back on me. Well, you need to get help too. I said, that's the difference between you and I. I can stop, you can't.
Yeah.
So he went to Houston, went into one program after another, got himself cleaned up. A year later, he came to me and said that he was done. And I don't think it was barely 2 days when he came back home that he went back and got some more crack and goes in the bathrooms. Sherry, come here. And I saw the crack on the counter and I looked at my youngest daughter. I said, get him out of here and he can't come back. And so she pushed him out the door and told him not to come back until he was ready to be clean. 4 days later, he came back. He said, okay, I'm ready. And he switched drugs to alcohol. We had both gotten hepatitis C. We don't know how he got it actually. He thinks he gave it to me, but I also had a tubular pregnancy and had blood given to me. And it was before 1990. So I could have gotten it either way. He could have gotten it either way. And because he was an active alcoholic, he was not treatable for interferon. After he passed away, I found out that I had second stage liver disease from hepatitis C. UPS MT in Galveston put me in a program. It was a program they just came out with, and I went through interferon for 4.5 months, and I have been in remission for almost 12 years. So I still have hepatitis C, but it's just in remission. Hepatitis C is not curable.
No. So what does readmission mean?
Remission is kind of like cancer. It's like it stops growing and it doesn't come back unless, all right, with remission on hepatitis C, I should not go back into second stage liver disease unless I'm doing drugs or alcohol or IV needle use. Um, right now, my liver is clean, it's functioning properly. If it happens to come back, then I have to go through interferon again. If it doesn't come back for the rest of my life, I'm good.
So you so from your with your husband's experiencing all of that, would you say that was a big add on to all the other problems you already had with the mental?
It did add on. It did add on. I started more depression, wanting to die. The only thing that basically kept me alive was my girls,
Oh,
loving my girls, wanting them to be safe. I've even gone to prison and over drugs. And while I was gone, he didn't take care of them. They were living off of people that they knew.
oh.
Um, he got caught cheating on me. Um, 15 months, they were in terror. My girls were in terror. And when I came home, it didn't get better because the drugs continued and continued until I just couldn't take it anymore. I really couldn't take. I wanted my family, but I couldn't leave him because I loved him, and I didn't believe in divorce. I believe marriage. If you have a problem in your marriage, fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it.
And that's the thing about with this new generation. Our societies became so disposable. It's not like it used to be where, hey, we need to sit down and figure this out. No, it's easy now these days. Marriages are 50-50
Yes.
and more of survival. So,
Yes.
all right. Yeah, I was expecting some of the crazy stories. What let's tell one for the audience because you told me one. I'm like, wow.
Which one was that?
The ashtray,
The what?
the ashtray.
Um, he came in one morning and he was screaming at me because the girls were not dressed and ready for school. They should be getting ready for school. And he was screaming at me. I'm just like a banshee. And we all kind of woke up like a piece of toast that popped up. And
I still laugh at that.
I started yelling at him and he started making faces at me and I lost it. And I smashed a broken ashtray into his face. Apparently, I had gotten him down on the floor and was beating his head against the dresser and telling him to die or I was going to kill him. And I kept beating his head and beating his head and beating his head. And my youngest daughter pulled me off of him and told me, Mom, don't kill him. Mom, don't kill him. But I do crazy stuff like that. If I get pushed in a corner, I'm going to come out fighting. I am feisty. Even when I'm under anesthetic, when they try to wake me up, it's back away because I will come up swinging.
So
And
that
my
that
youngest daughter is the only one that knows how to control me when I'm at my worst.
so with that type of episode, it's your form of anxiety and all that coming up. Is that with
Exactly.
that's everything just building up.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if I have troubles with a bill collector, I get to the point where I'm screaming, yelling, cussing.
Yeah.
I'll constantly call back. Um, I have problems now where I've got a doctor's office pointing fingers at an insurance company pointing fingers at the doctor. I'm the one that's sitting here suffering, and I get tired of it. It builds up. I can't get it off my mind. It's like almost like mania. It just
Uh-huh.
rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls until my emotions are so off track that I am just like on edge. All I want to do is reach out and choke someone. And that's mania. Just
Yeah.
recently, I had a mania of anxiety and anger. I went 3 days, 2 nights of overthinking, calling people, um, not taking my medicine because that's another problem that I have. I forget to take my medicine, and I go through these manic episodes. I have trouble walking through the store because I can almost feel their emotions. People, I can't be in a crowd. I get anxiety because I'm flooded with everybody else's emotions and I lose myself. And so it's hard for me to even open my front door and just step outside. I live in my own little world and it's easier. It's easier on me,
And sometimes it's easier on everybody. I,
right?
I, I can,
Especially this day and age.
well, I could relate because I have such a big family and I don't get very much peaceful time. I'm like, I have to have it. So, throughout all of what you've been through and everything else, what would you want to tell the audience? What would be something you want them to know?
I would tell them not to judge a book by its cover. You don't know what's underneath the surface. Um, People with mental illness, they're not only struggling to keep up with taking their medication to help them control themselves, but they're also controlling themselves beyond the medication. They're pushing themselves to act like everybody else, even though they can't. Understand that everybody has their own bad days. And sometimes we have no control and we're doing our best. People like me, we're we're in training, we're teaching ourselves every single day just to be normal
Hmm.
and just to be liked by others. That's basically all. You just gotta keep on fighting, keep on living every day, and keep on pushing.
I definitely feel it there because for me, I have anger issues too,
Mhm.
and I have a slight control issue and everything. It's hard.
It is
Be normal,
really
just to
hard.
be normal in general. But
I, I I just want to reach out and choke somebody sometime.
I
And
haven't gotten that far.
I
Mine's more
mean,
the punching thing.
but there's a difference between wanting to do it and actually acting on it.
Yeah.
And if I'm pushed that far, I have no control. I act on it.
All right. Well, guys, I hope you guys appreciate and like what she had message that she had put out there. I find her very interesting. Maybe I'll have her more in the future. But if you guys want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And then hit that little bell there so you can get notified every time I put out a new video. And Sherry, I really appreciate it. And I will
Thank
talk
you.
to you later. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.